This video includes my favorite action shots from the Topps baseball card sets of the 1980s. I'll begin with 1980. 1980 had better action shots than most of the years in the 80s. You see among the hitters several good poses. Some of them are game shots, some of them are poses. It happens that the ones I have chosen have a lot of really good players too. That would be an all-star lineup on its own. It has Keith Hernandez batting third, Mike Schmidt batting fourth, Tony Perez, then Ron Cey and George Hendrick. And each of them look like they really are about to pull the ball out and hit the ball well. Among the fielders, Craig Nettles at third has a good pose. Jimmy Sexton coming in at shortstop has a good pose. The way the screen works is it goes pitcher, catcher, first base, second, third, short, and then three outfielders. Usually the outfielders there aren't action shots or poses in fielding for the outfielders. So usually think of a kid using imagination. If you're playing games with the baseball cards, you just take a pitcher who posed and looks like he could be in an outfield position. 1981 here has a couple good poses. My favorite hitter in the set is Tim Raines, who I have batting third. Among the hitters, I have it like first, second, third would be Tim Raines, then batting fourth would be Duffy Dyer, and then Danny Goodwin, Bruce Benedict, and then Chet Lemon, Tom Paciorek, and Warren Cromartie. Tim Raines' card, this is his rookie card, and it came in the first Topps traded set when Topps started to come out with sets at the end of the season to have prospects that came up during the year and people who have been traded. So this was Tim Raines' first year. And what I have found over the years is that the traded sets are more likely to have poses, which would lead to a better action shot for my way of rating action shots. So here, Tim Raines is a pose. There are more shots taken from the stands of game situations in the regular set, it seemed to me, over the years. Like Butch Hobson at third, that's I think the best action pose or shot of a fielder, but that was taken during a game situation. And from here on in, most of the pictures are like that, but occasionally you have poses. Like Alan Ashby catching is a pose in this set, for this year. 1982, you have Pete Rose at first base. Pete Rose is in a lot of these. This one, I don't think he posed. I think that's from a game. Most of the fielding positions here look like game shots, except Jack Morris looks like a pose pitching. Looks like he's going to throw a fastball or a curveball. And then Mickey Rivers, the pose of him in center field doesn't look like it's during a game. It looks like he posed for that picture. Among the hitters here, they all look like poses. Dan Briggs has a pretty good shot there. He looks like he's going to hit the ball well. You see Bob Boone is batting fourth. Bobby Mercer, I noted, this is 1982. I think he's in the same spot in my 1972 team. So in between 72 and 82, he played for some other teams and did very well, but now he's back with the Yankees here in 1982. 1983, I think just about all of these are pictures taken during a game, except Mel Hall, I think, was from the traded set. That's probably when he was a highly touted prospect coming up at the beginning of his career. Larry Heisel's pose looks pretty good, like he's going to pull one out to left. Marty Bystrom, who I have in left field, that's probably a pose. And then Dwayne Murphy in center, coming in for the ball, looks pretty good, and Craig Nettles too. But those action shots, Topps got much better with that through the years with zoom lenses and the quality of their equipment, I guess, because those action shots are from quite a distance, and it gets much better as time goes on. Here's 1984. Cal Ripken there batting third. Looks like he's going to hit it out. That's one of his earlier cards. I think Rafael Landestoy underneath him also looks like he's going to hit it well. You've got Brett Butler with the Indians there. Dan Dreesen has a good pose at first base, except it's not a pose. It looks like it's a game situation. And now my favorite defense pose there is Butch Winnegar catching. It's an action shot thrown at the third base, and here it's not like it's from too far out. It gets him completely in the shot, and it was a very good picture that was taken of him there. Leon Durham looks pretty good there at first base. I put Willie Randolph at short just because of the way he's positioned there. He looks like he's coming from the left side. Mookie Wilson there's got a big smile in center field. Kelvin Chapman batting second. That's a pose. I'm not sure if it's from the trade. Probably not from the traded set. And Jack Clark, I think, with the Cardinals is from the traded set. The rest of the pictures are not, it's not one of the stronger years. 1986, we've got a lot of game situations among the fielders. Paul Molitor in the middle of a throw there. I put him at short because I envisioned him coming in from short in the way that picture is positioned. The batters all look like poses. Well, the first 6 batters look like poses. Tim Tuffle probably, in my view, has the best shot in this year. We got Cecil Fielder there, beginning of his career. In the bottom of the lineup, Johnny Ray. Those look like batting practice pictures. Von Hayes looks like it's in a game. 1987, this is kind of, they went with the wood background similar to 1962 here. Very good pose of Tony Pena, action shot behind the plate catching. That was a close second behind Butch Winnegar for my favorite action shot for the year. You got Ken Herbat coming in second in center field. Have to use his imagination and ignore that I think he's wearing a first baseman's mitt there. Lee Mazzilli has a good pose at first base. Among the hitters, Billy Beane is batting third. Billy Beane was a prospect with the Mets. At this point, he's on the Twins, later becoming the general manager of the A's and coming to much more fame as a general manager than he did as a player. Cecil Fielder's also in this set. I think the best hitting pose in this set is Mike Felder, batting fourth. He has the kind of pose that we saw a lot of in the 60s and 70s, where it's a good pose, like he's going to hit the ball out to center. Batting eighth, this set with the team names on the top kind of reminds me of the 1967 set. It's got a few good poses. Scotty Madison at third base there. I don't know, that's probably not in the game. Maybe it was in practice because it looks like he really did catch the ball, but I don't see anyone else on the field. Keith Hernandez has a good pose at first, though that also might be from a game. Among the hitters, I think Rafael Santana has the best pose. That actually looks like a pose, not a game situation. And several of the hitting pictures here look like they're poses that the players did. Eric Davis looks like he's a game situation. And then 1989. 1989, I always confuse with 1980. The design of the card is kind of similar. But there are some good poses in that. We got Kevin Mitchell at third base. That looks like it's a game situation. Ray Quinones at second looks like a pose, but a good one, kind of reminiscent of the earlier year sets. My favorite hitting pose is Gary Carter batting third. He looks like he's going to pull it out to left center, and that's kind of the kind of pose that we used to see in the 60s and 70s also. Well, that's my favorite poses for the 1980s. If you like it, please indicate like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. I'll probably do the 90s next. Thanks.